Hi, I'm Phil. Thanks for coming back for another video. Today, let's talk about the most worn watch in my collection, the Omega Seamaster Professional Diver. It has a case size of 42mm, thickness is at 13.5mm, lug width is at 20mm, lug to lug around 50mm, and water resistance is at 300 meters. It has sapphire crystal with an open case back, and on this one is the white dial with the contrasted black ceramic bezel. It was my third mechanical watch after the Hamilton and this IWC Pilot Chrono, and it was at that time I got really deep into watches, read blogs and watch as many YouTube videos about watches as possible. So I decided that my next watch was going to be a diver, and amongst all the dive watches on the market, this movement really caught my eye. The Metas Caliber 8800. The Master Chronometer certification basically gives me the impression that the movement can withstand anything. And that sealed the deal for me. You know, at the early stage of collecting, you would aspire to build the best collection out there. And in my opinion, this is one of the best contemporary movements, so it's a no-brainer. Of course, later on I realized there's no such thing as the best collection. It's just one that suits and reflects your taste most. Well, but your taste is gonna change, believe me, and that's the fun part, or the dangerous part of this hobby. With that said, this is still very much to my taste right now. The wave pattern and the dome enamel markers are so beautiful to look at. I just can't stop doing this whenever there's light striking on this beautiful white dial. With the brand heritage of Omega and product placement in one of the most well-known espionage movies, James Bond, the Seamaster has become an icon of its own, for more than just Omega, but dive watches in general. So, does it make it a good daily wearer in our normal lives? Short answer, yes. It is highly legible with very bright lume, anti-magnetic to our electronics, and more than good enough water resistance. Now let's head back to the studio to talk about whether you should still buy this watch now in 2023. Omega launched the Seamaster Professional Diver back in 1993. This year marks the 30th anniversary of the debut of one of the most important watches to the brand, and yet it has been relatively quiet. I know a few weeks ago they released one with a more original looking dial, with a stunning caseback that displays the famous gun barrel scene of 007, but that, as the name suggests, James Bond's 60th anniversary, is dedicated to his relationship with the movie. I don't think this watch group will miss this great business opportunity with only one iteration of the watch. I mean, with what Omega has done last year with the green dial Seamaster Diver, the beautiful vintage look of the Speedy 57s, and of course, the collaboration between Swatch and Omega to create the Moon Swatch. I'm looking forward to what they will do on this 30th birthday of the Seamaster Diver, which could be your very first consideration when thinking about buying this watch right now. There might be something special or surprising coming out. Then, it's the helium escape valve. Some people love it, some hate it. For me, it's definitely a plus in terms of aesthetic. It could possibly be the most recognizable feature of the watch. Function-wise, I never used it and I don't think I'll ever need it. It's like having a 500 horsepower sports car. Reality is, you're probably never gonna fully use its capability, but it's cool to know that there is. Some might say it doesn't have to be so protrusive, like other brands just put theirs at the side of the case where you don't even notice its existence. Well, then, doesn't it make this watch even more special? As said, it could possibly be the most recognizable feature of the watch. Then it's the bracelet. It's an old school looking bracelet, but again it's pretty recognizable at a glance that it's a Seamaster bracelet. The clasp though, is the worst part on this watch, in my opinion. It's big and chunky and doesn't taper. Micro adjustment is good, but overall the clasp on the Speedy wears a lot more comfortably. Well, easiest fix is just to change it to a rubber strap. I haven't done so here because it doesn't bother me that much and I quite like the look of this bracelet. Finally, the Metas movement. I've never put it onto a time grapher, but it has been keeping perfect time to me. I've seen other YouTube videos putting it onto a time grapher and it shows error of 0 seconds, so it's safe to say it's a pretty accurate watch. Some might say the accuracy of a mechanical watch is not as important in modern days, as we have all the electronics to tell us the exact time. But at the end of the day, the very basic function of a watch is telling the time, so it has to be accurate to a certain level. As a person who take a look at my wrist for the time instead of reaching for my smartphone, I can't stand a watch that runs slow. The Meta's guaranteed 0 to +5 seconds a day makes it a very reliable watch, and I feel very comfortable about it, especially when I'm on a run to meetings or traveling where I don't want to be late. Besides, an overwhelming 15,000 gauss of magnetic resistance means you can still wear your beloved watch while undergoing an MRI scan. After all, with Metas, it just shows Omega's commitment to accuracy and overall robustness of the watch. So, if you are in the market for an everyday dive watch around $5,000 to $6,000, which is a big chunk of cash, the Seamaster Diver is still one of the best choices available. With the brand heritage of Omega and the movement technology that is on offer, you really can't go wrong with it. Regardless of what is going to come out from the brand, as an owner, I still adore the look of this watch. The skeletonized hands, the wave pattern, and the enamel markers. It still puts a smile on my face every time I wind it and put it on my wrist. By the way, it winds very smoothly and quietly. Anyway, that's the most important thing when you consider buying a watch. Does it put a smile on your face? Go try it on in store, touch and feel it, see if it resonates, and put a smile on your face. If it does, that's the true reason you should make the purchase with your hard-earned cash. Thanks for watching. Feel free to comment down below of what you think. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel for more content to come. I'll catch you on the next one.